Lamello Ball is the most famous player in this year's NBA draft.
Here we go, Melo, one stand up.
But he also remains its biggest mystery.
Lamello Ball is the latest of the Ball family to enter the NBA. In fact, he was just drafted number 3 overall by the Charlotte Hornets, a team that is in desperate need of some star power and big game time ballers. But as the Ball family has already shown via previous entrant Lonzo, there are questions as to whether their skills really translate to the NBA. Lonzo hasn't had the best run so far in the league, and many are wondering if Lamello will either set a trend of mediocrity in the league, or will it set it on fire with the skills? So allow us to show you the 6 reasons why Lamello Ball is the most skilled Ball brother. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 6, his own brother thinks he's better. In this case of brothers and talent, Lamello will immediately be compared to his brother Lonzo, who has been in the NBA for a few seasons now. He started off as a high school draft pick for the Lakers and then was traded to the Pelicans so the Lakers could get Anthony Davis, a move that would lead them to winning the NBA title, for the record. Now, as a Pelican, Lonzo has done okay, but not the standout like many thought he would be. But if you were to ask Lonzo who is the best among the Ball boys, he thinks Lamello has the potential to outdo them all. If you look at just talent-wise, he's got the most talent by far. I mean, it's not even close, and plus the height he's getting now, he just all of a sudden got to 6'6". I don't know how, I feel like he was 5'10" when I played with him, so I mean, the ceiling's up for him, sky's the limit. I'm just making sure he keeps his head on straight, because you know in today's world at 17, with however many followers he has, it can be a lot. I'm just making sure that he stays focused and sticks to the grind. That honestly is high praise coming from his brother. Lamello might not be as gifted of a defender as Lonzo is, or as strong as LiAngelo is, but he's a more advanced scorer than both of his brothers and shares some of the elite court vision that Lonzo has. Those 2 things should alone be enough for him to carve out a role in the NBA, should things fall his way, obviously. Now, many would say that defense is Lamello's weakness, and that's something to improve in the NBA, no doubt. But there is time to do that, and none of the Ball boys are all-around threats. They each have their pluses and minuses. The key thing here is to who uses their talents the best and the quickest to make a name for themselves in the league, and Lamello seems to be in line to take that title. Number 5, the journey to the NBA. There has never been any doubt that Lamello Ball is a talented basketball player. Those who were lucky enough to catch one of his high school games were awestruck by his performance, which is saying something when you really think about it. Now that being said, he's never attracted as much attention as he probably should have, simply because his youth career didn't follow the standard patterns. He failed to appear in many of the leagues and games, such as the Nike Hoop Summit that most future NBA stars play in, which many would consider a detriment because it meant that he didn't have eyes on him, and his skills at the time they would have been the most viewed. However, he made it up by doing his own path and harnessing his skills in other ways. Mainly, he traveled to Lithuania, where he had sporadic playing record. He also starred in LeVar Ball's JBA League and was involved with the Spire Academy's basketball program. While all that playing has given him a great deal of experience on the court, it has made it difficult for those who follow up and coming basketball stars to track his career. It's likely that Lamello would be flying completely under everyone's radar, but for the fact that he's current NBA star Lonzo Ball's younger brother. With Lonzo putting in solid games with the New Orleans Pelicans, everyone is curious about whether the youngest Ball will be able to do better than Lonzo and carve his own path. It was only in recent months that his draft stock, as it were, started to go up, and he proved he was worth the price of admission, if you will. Now that's not enough to prove how good he will be in the NBA, but it does help show that he was able to make a name for himself in a short amount of time. Number 4, his skills speak for themselves. Ball easily is one of the best passers in this year's draft, and it isn't even a question. Ball averaged 6.8 assists, and debatably the second best league on the globe. Ball getting 82 assists in only 12 games is absolutely ludicrous, and is one of the most impressive stat lines when it comes to passing. Ball is really good at both inside bounce passes and highlight lobs. Passes are definitely in his arsenal, and many are very excited to see how much more of his playmaking skills progress. Ball is also really good with his handles, so his craftiness with the ball can confuse defenses and has done so in the NBL. His handles allow him to penetrate opposing teams' defenses and really open up some offensive options. Ball's quick first step is proven to be deadly against defenses where, after help comes, he dishes the ball to an open teammate. So you can easily pinpoint what he could do well, but will he do well? Well, that is another story entirely, though the teams he's on does help engaging that. Number 3, the Hornets. Easily the biggest difference between Lonzo and Lamello Ball in terms of their draft is that the teams they went to were completely different. Lonzo got drafted by the Lakers when LeBron James was coming into town, drastically changing the dynamic and pressures put upon him. Lamello got drafted by Charlotte, and the Hornets are not a top-tier team, not even close. So automatically his expectations are lower because the team isn't the best around. This is honestly a benefit to Lamello because if he can elevate the team to a higher plane, he's going to be seen as the reason it happened, and that would be very fair judgment. Number 2, the same problem. While it's easy to go and talk about Lamello and his playing ability, you also have to wonder about other factors that could help him or hinder him mightily. While some are confident that Lamello will play at the NBA level needed to become a star, some, including ESPN's Mike Schmitz, have reservations. The NBA is only interested in players who not only perform well, but who are capable of keeping their focus on the game and not being distracted by outside sources. This might seem like an odd thing to say, but trust us when we know that there is a big reason for that statement, and it is all about family. When Lonzo was drafted, no one was fully prepared for just how big a distraction his father, LeVar Ball, would prove to be. Some are worried that LeVar in his overpowering presence has the potential to be such a big distraction that it will cause problems for Lamello like it did to Lonzo. For example, during draft night for Lonzo, LeVar noted that he would be the biggest Laker in a long time, if not ever. Now sure, that could have just been fatherly pride showing up, but not when it comes to LeVar Ball. He then went on to the grand tour of places like WWE, ESPN First Take, and more to hype up his son and all he could do. And then, Lonzo was traded from the Lakers a few seasons later, and still hasn't really made a splash in the NBA. Now, it will be interesting to see if Lamello can overcome the issues connected to LeVar Ball and become an NBA player in the league, because there is no doubt that Lamello is facing pressure from his father to perform to do well for the brand. Number 1, how will Lamello do? At this point, we have painted many different pictures for you in regards to how Lamello Ball is going to do in the NBA. He has the talent, he has the ability, and he no doubt has the drive to succeed. But will he? Will he be able to go and do the things needed to do in order to succeed in the NBA at a high level? The honest answer is, we have no idea. The irony of league drafts is that everything you do is based on hope and circumstance. You hope that your top draft pick will do well, but there are no guarantees. There have been busts all over the place, all over the years in the league and beyond. So players who had all the expectations, but only did so-so. So in truth, if Lamello really wants to prove that he's the best ball brother, he needs to lace his shoes up and prove it on the court. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at Lamello Ball and why he might just be the best ball brother of the bunch? Do you think he will make a big splash in the NBA? Do you think that he will lead the Charlotte Hornets to being something more than just another NBA team? What are your personal expectations for him? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.